I, 31M, and my GF, 31F, have been fighting a lot ever since we moved in. My friends say it's normal, but I don't know how to move on. So as it suggests in the title, my girlfriend, Rebecca, and I have been fighting a lot recently. We moved into our new place at the first week of February and things were rocky at first. This is the first time either of us have moved and we had to leave our families, so it was a rather emotional time for the both of us. We eventually settled in and things were fine for a little while. Lately though we've been fighting about a lot of other things, such as me not doing things to her satisfaction, and I will get mad at her for the way she is speaking to me. These fights happen almost daily now, and it's gotten so bad to the point where I feel the need to go for a long walk and come back hours later. When I do come back, Rebecca will apologize for fighting. Yesterday I met up with a few friends of mine and we talked about the issues I've been having. One of my friends was telling me not to despair too much because it is common in relationships for this to happen. Some of them shared their own personal experiences and it was almost shocking to hear how similar they were. Some of the things my friends talked about were things that actually resonated with mine and Rebecca's relationship. Playing video games when there was work that needed to be done around the house. Her getting upset with me for not knowing where to put things, because she organized it the way she likes it. Not making the bed the way she likes. Leaving things on the counter. Not hanging clothes up properly. Not having an opinion when discussing things about the house. This one resonated with me the most. When she gets mad at me, I choose not to tell her to preserve the peace. We talked about it for a while and I actually cried hearing how common these issues were, and I seriously don't know what I have to do here to resolve my issues. It's getting to a point where I am anxious thinking about what thing she is going to fight with me about next. I was hoping on getting some help from this sub. My friends told me that it'll eventually level out, but I just don't know how that'll happen. TLDR, my GF and I have been fighting nearly every day since we moved in and I don't know what to do.
As a woman who has to clean up after her boyfriend, I see her side a lot better. There is a comic I suggest you read called You Should Have Asked by Emma something. I'll PM it to you. It's a joint effort to keep a household clean. To me it is very important. The fact that you argue every day shows she can't live as your mother made.
Greater than I seriously don't know what I have to do here to resolve my you don't. Seems to me like cleaning up after yourself and being an active participant in keeping up with the home will get you where you want to be. She likes things to go someplace? Learn it. The bed made a particular way? Learn how to do it. Learn how to hang the clothes, not your mommy. Learn something.
So I already do the majority of the cleaning. I work from home and Rebecca works at a hospital. The cleaning fight happened on Thursday of last week. On my lunch break I had cleaned, mopped and vacuumed the floors, but I didn't clean up then because she's asked me not to go in there. She's asked me not to go in there because when we first moved in, I was trying to help her unpack and she didn't want me putting things anywhere because she wanted to organize it herself. After work I started playing my game and she got upset with me for not mopping and vacuuming the den, and that's what led to the Thursday fight. Her mother and father own a bed and breakfast and her mum used to be a maid beforehand, so she made the bed in a very particular way. I have tried learning how to make the bed the way she likes, but I will sometimes make a mistake. We had a fight about this the other day because the length of the bed sheet wasn't perpendicular with the bed on the right-hand side of the bed. She scolded me because she has been trying to show me how to do this for over a year.
By any chance are her parents controlling or hypercritical?
I don't think they're controlling, but they're very judgmental, as well as her extended family.
Can you see how that would inform what's happening here? When you're raised by judgmental people you end up terrified of not being perfect.
So I just finished reading this and I can see instances where I get her point of view, but I've also see that the behavior exhibited in the men are also things that she does as work from home, and she works in a hospital, and I find that most of the time I have to pick up after her whenever she leaves her clothes on the floor or the chair and dishes in the sink and on the couch.
Maybe have a sit-down conversation before it's an argument. Maybe do this once a each other one thing that they will work on that week. Maybe she needs a laundry basket beside her chair. Makes it easier to put away. For you working on making the bed, ask her to show you how she likes it, like a lesson. I find I try a lot harder when I know my boyfriend is trying too. Living with a so for the first time is so hard. You are a team, tackling life, and the one thing I like to say is, don't put it down, put it away. Especially if it takes less than 10 she work a lot more hours than you. Does she do most of the main cleaning? Floors, bathroom, etc. It's hard to say what will work for you guys.
If this is both of your first time living outside of your parents' house, there is bound to be friction around how you both like things, chores, and responsibilities. This is why many people live with roommates or on their own first before moving in with a partner. Honestly, that would be my recommendation, that you both try living on your own first, but if that's not possible, then you need to have a serious talk with her. Tell her that you want to come to a compromise about household stuff and figure out what you can both be doing to be equal contributors, but that her getting angry with you isn't the way to fix things. She needs to communicate with you calmly and clearly if she wants something done differently.
I am actually okay with the sitting down part. It's a little bit more complicated and sometimes difficult. She has taught me how to make the bed the way she likes it, but she will annoyed if I forget a step or if the bed looks a little off. As for your other question, I work till 5 p.m. and she gets off at 4:30 p.m. I have more time, so I do most of the cleaning. Recently she did clean the bathroom because we had company coming over and I went off to see my friends.
Based on your comments, you definitely didn't describe it well. Your post gives the impression that she does all the cleaning. I found a comment where you said you do more than half the cleaning, but she still complains anyway. If you both work full-time, chores should be split 50-50. It's not fair for either of you to have to do more than the other. The idea that there are rooms in your own home that you're not supposed to enter is bizarre. Also, the arrangement of the kitchen should be a joint decision, not something for her to decide unilaterally. If she cares a lot about the arrangement of the kitchen, she should be willing to go through it with you and show you where everything goes so you can have that info going forward. Also, bed making is an unnecessary chore. Obviously you have to make the bed when you change the sheets, but other than that it simply does not need doing, and I never bother with it personally. It seems like she cares about stuff tbh.
Fighting to the point that you need to go for a walk to clear your head is not normal, and should not happen with any frequency at all. There is something bad about the dynamic between the two of you, and you both need to take responsibility for your role in these escalations. I think your friends are downplaying the seriousness of these fights, because for them the fights don't escalate to the same degree. I think you and your GF need to have a big talk and get on the same page about cleaning as one issue, what standards are, splitting 50-50, or whatever's fair, frequency. But the other issue you need to get on the same page about is fighting or airing grievances, using appropriate tone, how to respond without escalating, when to bring up issues, etc.
You both need to sit down and communicate. Not saying anything to just keep the peace only breeds resentment. Been there, done that. You need to voice your feelings, concerns, and she needs to do the same. Then you both need to come up with a game plan to work together. Nobody is a mind reader. Relationships require communication and compromise. Without this it won't work.
Have either of you lived on your own prior to this? That's a big transition in and of itself. Moving in with a partner is a lot like a second relationship in many ways. It requires communication and compromise. You both come from different backgrounds and lifestyles. If your arrangement is going to work, you need to talk and negotiate specifically what your expectations are. Example, you agree that you rotate certain chores each week to keep things fair. Someone cleans the kitchen, someone cleans the bathroom. What is each of your definition of clean? Because if one of you just wipes down a counter with a paper towel and sweeps the floor, and that's cool, while the other gets out the toothbrush and bleaches every possible square inch for 3 hours and sanitizes it, someone is going to feel like they're doing all the work. You need to communicate, compromise and collaborate. Keep in mind that you doing things to her liking is okay, but some things need to be to your liking as well. As a people pleaser, I can tell you the fastest way to resentment is thinking things will be okay as long as everything is her way. But you'll wake up in a relationship and apartment where you've set your own needs, wants aside. Yeah, it seems to me she might be a bit of a control freak. Lots of comments telling Op he needs to do more, but I think some of this is on her as well to learn that they need to compromise.
So, most of your list sounds like an issue of imbalance in the domestic. If there's housework that needs to be done, that takes precedence over leisure activities. Make a habit of looking for chores that need doing and treating games as a reward for even though she organized things. You should be able to observe where they go and replace them in the right spots. This might take a little bit of time but should be something you're actively trying to learn, and if you two each have strong feelings on how to make the bed, you can find a compromise. If not, making the bed the way she likes actually means that it's sloppy, then it's time to step and make a habit of putting things where they belong immediately.
I used to have clothes pile up all over my floor until I forced myself to always put them in the drawer, hamper, or hanger. They do not touch the ground at all because I know if they do I will stare at them and think, I should pick that up, without actually doing it. As much as you can, make your philosophy, nothing touches a surface that it serves no purpose resting. It sounds like a lot of mental work, but if you make it a habit it actually makes life way easier because you're entirely cutting out the need for. My boyfriend is not opinionated at all and eventually I had to just say, hey, it's okay if you don't have a strong opinion, I just need some sort of response beyond, I don't really care, or, it's up to. That's a lot of emotional labor and she just wants you to share it to some. When she gets mad at me, I choose not to tell her to preserve the not sure what you mean by this one. Can you elaborate? These issues are indeed extremely common. They are also extremely fixable by you learning to anticipate housework and intentionally develop habits that make you a more efficient and participatory member of the household.